to Life Unfiltered with myself, Success, and these my niece. So basically, this podcast is all about unpacking life challenges, like the stuff that everybody goes through every day, but is kind of like not comfortable talking about.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can relate as well. So I think today, as our first episode, this is like a pseudo episode. I'm not sure if we can call it the first episode, but
An intro,
intro
basically.
basically, yeah. So I don't know if we should really introduce ourselves as to who you are. We're not celebrities. You don't know us and what we're all about. Um, I do something totally different to this. I'm an IT guy. I work in the IT space, in the insurance space. Um, I've been in the IT space for the past 10 years or 11 years, as much as I can remember. Yeah, so that's me. And then Lisa.
Well, I'm Lisa, and I'm basically just a girl next door, still a student. Not much. I'm still finding my feet. There's not much to me, but I'm an aspiring public relations practitioner. Actually, I want to dive into communications because I feel like that's what I will enjoy more doing. So, yeah,
Cool.
I think that's
Thank you.
pretty much all.
Thank you for introducing yourself, Lisa. So I think this is I don't know, a tough topic because I'm not married at the moment. I wouldn't say I'm married, but I've been married before. But traditionally so, not like your lily type of stuff, white wedding.
Yeah.
But I've received the perks or the treatment of a married man. I
So,
don't know.
hang in there, just to interrupt you,
Mm.
what is marriage?
To me, marriage it differs. In the black culture, I would say paying lobola is actually even legally binding because once you pay lobola, you are married in community of property with your spouse or partner.
True.
But in the white culture, it's something different because there has to be some form of celebration. You need to go to the home affairs and sign, and you need to be husband and wife on paper.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we treat it differently. But the union or the okay, good. I found the right English word. The institution, the marriage
Okay.
institution, is not any different whether you're black, white, Indian, colored, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it gets very tricky as you go along because I've seen people date for 5 years, then they get married after 5 years. 2 years down the line, they divorce. But they dated for 5 years and then married for 2 years. Like, I always wonder what's the issue. Maybe let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Why do people get married? What is the whole point behind getting married? Why don't you just date until you die?
I think it's a couple of factors that lead people to marriage because firstly, when we look the whole thing from a female perspective, right?
Yeah.
We females like to have that form of a feeling of belonging, like we have to have that entitlement, right? So when we look at it from a dating perspective, I'm not entitled to your salary, I'm not entitled to you as a person. But if we look at it from a marriage perspective for a female, right? You know that if I'm married to this person, then I have entitlement, I have a sense of belonging. I know that this is mine for a long term even. You know that in 10 years time, 20 years time, if it happens, like I'm stable. You know what I mean?
Okay. From what I'm gathering in what you're saying is that if a guy marries you, he's giving you some reassurance that I can control him. So you want to control the guy.
No. Like control is neither here or there. What I'm saying is if we're married,
Yeah.
basically you have a home in paper even. It's something that's official. When we're married, I know that this person I can go all out actually.
But you can do that without dating. You know, I know a couple that has been together for like 20 years, but they're not married. But it's actually an interracial couple. It's a white woman and a black guy. They're not married, but they're living their best life. But the families are really concerned, whereby why when I guys and they even have like a 16-year-old son or something. So okay, um, do kids have anything to do with getting married? Let's say you guys date, you don't have kids yet, but still you get married, and then 5 years down the line, there's no kids still. Is there still value in marriage if you guys don't have kids?
Yeah, for me, I think so. Like if we look at it, marriage is not it's not all about kids. To be honest, it's just kids is just a term that has been brought in by us, the black culture. That if you get married, that means automatically you have to have kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But from my own perspective, I could get married and not have kids and just live my best life.
Again, the black culture is gonna come back and haunt you again because they're gonna say, "Hey, you guys have been married for 5 years, but no
Yeah.
kids and stuff like that. What are you guys doing? Like, is there something wrong and stuff like that?" So I feel like somehow like families also do put pressure on the couples that have like especially the newlywed couples that they must have kids. And also, what if actually it's not okay about fertility? We're gonna get to fertility one day. We're gonna
Yeah.
talk about fertility. But let's say both the couple is fertile, but they just don't want to have kids. It's a matter of choice.
Yeah.
How do you now navigate that and actually convince the family that, you know what, guys, we are not the kids type?
I know, like that would be really, really difficult, like cracking their heads. You know why? Because we, like, especially as if we look at the 90s generation, like our parents are, some of them are even like old enough, so they still have that stigma to say a family is kids. And whereas if you look at it, our generation now, it's really not about kids. People are onto traveling, people are onto career, and just living their life. So with our parents, it's really going to be tough because all they expect from marriage is kids and nothing else. Because, for example, if you're married, you can be married with someone and stay for 5 years. They're not gonna ask you, why aren't you traveling? Why don't you guys go out? Why don't you do this? But one thing that they're gonna ask you is, why aren't you guys having kids? Because to them that's marriage. And to our generation now, I think it's a totally different thing.
So, but now, who decides for couples as to like what they do within their union? Say we get married now, and say my partner loves traveling, I don't. Maybe I love maybe hiking or whatever, like some different form of adventure.
Yeah.
How do now as couples find the middle ground as to what to do when we wanna have fun together? If we love different things, if we're married. Well, we can actually still even find that out while we're still dating. But I think I'm asking a different question. But let's just
But I
answer
think
that
I
first.
understand what you're saying. I think that depends on what kind of person are you and what kind of a person the other person is. And you get to figure that out when you're still dating, right? I think that's why most couples don't end up working out, because you find that I'm an introvert, my partner is an extrovert. They like doing things, I don't. They like going to a club on weekends, I like staying at home watching Netflix or whatever. So it that depends on what kind of a couple it is.
Yeah, no?
Yeah. Because
So,
if you look from your personal side, what do you think? Do you think like you guys love the same thing?
not really, but there are certain things that we do together that we both like. But I think it works for both of us because in science they say the opposite attracts.
True.
You know, I love this, you love that, and then somehow we work together to find something common. And coming to that, I mean, say you date a guy for like 7 years, right? And it says nothing about getting married or something. Then what are you asking yourself at that point?
for 7 years.
Yeah, let's say you date someone. What year is this? 2023. Let's say you met someone in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
You're dating. They just date. They do everything for you. They treat you well, but they never say anything to do with marriage. What do you now? How do you now pop the question to say, dude, what's on your mind?
But is that possible though? For like a good 7 years, is that possible?
I think so. Well, it happens. It happens. Because my next question was gonna be, what is the turning point to a guy asking a woman to marry him at this point?
Yeah.
But what if he doesn't for a good 7 years? How do you now hint to him that, you know what, dude, I think it's about time?
That would be really tricky and weird for a good 7 years. But for me, like, I guess I would ask the person their own perspective and sentiments when it comes to marriage.
Directly or indirectly?
No, directly. Like, for me, I'm very confrontational. I like asking straight away.
You like hearing the uncomfortable truth?
That's me.
Yeah.
I would ask that. Honestly, that is what I would do. I would ask and then get to hear the person's perspective.
What if they tell you that it's not in their plans to get married? What's your reaction now? Do you now start searching for a new partner?
No, I wouldn't start looking for another partner, because the fact that we've been together for 7 years, I mean, like,
yeah,
it
means something.
It means something, right?
Yeah.
So it would, like, I think my next step would solely depend on the 7 years, like how we've been.
Are you reflecting on what happened previously? What if there's been a lot of like signs and red flags as to why this guy doesn't want to get married? How do you now actually convince yourself to stay if he's given you all the signs, but you are being ignorant and naive about it? But how do you now convince yourself to remain in the same relationship whereby this dude has actually showed you all the signs that, you know what, dude, this thing is not for me. I can date, yes, but this marriage thing, I don't think I can do this.
So it would depend, right? If, say, like I'm 24 now, and then let's give an example, basing on 5 years to come. So 5 years to come, I'll be 29, right? So I would like to know from him if he's willing to give me what I would get in marriage, and then that's fine. Why not? Because in marriage, what you're looking for is a home, stability, know that I have a home, and all of those things. Why not?
Okay, my next question. It feels like I'm interviewing you. You might also ask me questions about this marriage thing, right?
Okay.
Do you think a home is complete? Say you guys are married, and then you've been married, say, for 5 years, for argument's sake. Do you think a home is complete without children?
Yeah, like I said before, for me, yes, I think so.
Don't you think you'll get bored at some point?
I don't know, but speaking for now, I feel like it's not all about kids. Because, okay, let me give you an example. Say you stayed with someone for 5 years, and then you want, I don't know how to put it. Let's say you stayed with someone, and then you see that this person is not giving you what you expect from a woman, right?
Yeah.
And in that case, you're in your 30s and the person is in your 30s as well. Like, what do? Like, that person, let me say, is not growing, for lack of a better word. They still like to go out and they don't have plans, and that's all they want.
What's wrong with groove?
No, I didn't say groove specifically, because I've seen like older people at groove, you know what I mean? Like, what I'm trying to say is they don't have goals, they don't have, all they want to do is just slay, drink, that's all, and get spoiled.
Yeah, that's actually not a good thing. Well, first time I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, so, but now how do you then navigate past that or around that?
That's what I want to hear from you. How do you maneuver around that?
Okay, from my side, I would say communication is key. And more than communication, I think comprehension is more key.
Yeah, true.
You can communicate all you want, but if someone doesn't understand you or comprehend you to an extent, you are actually talking to yourself. So I think like, I don't know. I hate the fact that I'm mostly confrontational when I'm drunk. Yeah, after a couple of beers, I ask
Like
the
you
right
speak your
questions.
mind.
I speak your mind mostly when I'm drunk. I wish I could do it when I'm more often when I'm sober, but
So
I-
what? Okay, sorry. What do you think is it that makes you a little bit? What makes you hold back when you're sober?
I feel like I'm gonna press the wrong buttons, but when I'm drunk, I don't give a fuck.
You just spill
Yeah, I just
everything.
spill the beans. I'm like, fuck it. If she gets angry, she gets angry. So, I think it all boils down to communication, right? Whereby you align goals. You ask each other about your long-term goals, short-term goals, your vision in life, what makes you happy, what makes you sad, and stuff like that. And one thing I must tell you also, you must take this for your future. You must live by those words. You can't change a person.
Yeah.
You must
true.
just learn. And another thing that I've learned, right? You will never find a perfect partner unless you take a pen and a pad and you draw them yourself, but you will never make them breathe. That's the
True.
thing. We were talking about this actually with my colleagues on Friday, that you must have your non-negotiables, and then the stuff that you're willing to compromise on. Let's say my non-negotiables is that I need to find someone who can cook, who can respect me, who can back his, who can respect my family regardless of whatever.
Yeah.
And then you find that maybe they are not so good looking as I would like them to be, or maybe they are
Not so good.
maybe the what can I say? Maybe they are not as educated as I would like them to be. They are not as relatable and stuff like that. There are certain things that you can compromise on, but you must have your non-negotiables. I think if both male and females have their non-negotiables. I know very, very good-looking women that are dating not so good-looking men,
Yeah.
but because those good men tick the right boxes,
Yeah. It happens all the time.
Wow. Hey, they are still with them.
Yeah.
So I think Nakona, like respecting your partner is also a choice. Let's say I'm married, né?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of maybe bodylicious pictures on Instagram, and I know my partner and I follow each other on Instagram and probably follow a lot of like mutual pages. I can't be going around liking every body picture on Instagram. That's another form of respect. Coming back to what you were saying, if I know that I have a partner that really cares about me, let's say I work, I've got a day job Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. We spend few hours together after hours after I knocked off. I can't be going to groove every weekend, leaving my partner back. I think it all boils down to respect. Respect is not words, but it's more of actions. Like, what do you do to respect your partner? I'll give an example. Some guys or some women or some whatever calls it controlling, but I call it communication. Your partner wanting to know about your whereabouts is not controlling, but it's
Yeah.
more of caring.
True.
If now Manalulu calls me and asks me like, are you okay? When are you coming back and stuff like that, she's not controlling me. If I'm out, I remember I was out on Thursday night. I went to the office and then I came back later around 11. But I told her after work that, we're gonna go for drinks with friends, well, not friends, colleagues. I'll be home late, but I'm okay. If anything is
Someone misses you.
if there's anything concerning, I'll let you know. Or just, she was gonna check on me. But the fact that you communicate with your partner about your whereabouts, I think it takes a certain level of respect to do that. You understand? So that's where maturity actually kicks in, and kindness. I always tell people that whatever you do, right, date kind people. When you date a kind person, right, even when you fuck up, their reaction to your fuck up will be
more calmer, polite.
Exactly. Say now, for God forbid, my uncle goes and scratches my nice car, and then she comes back with, baby, I scratched your car.
Yeah.
If I'm not if I'm a dick,
How would you react if that happens?
that's where I'm getting to. If I'm a dick, I'm gonna retaliate. I'm gonna say a lot of stupid words which I'm gonna regret later. But if I'm a kind person, you know what I'm gonna say? It's okay, baby. Things happen. I mean, we've got insurance on this car, right?
Yeah.
Insurance will sort it out. That's dating. What dating a kind partner means to me. Even when I fuck up now, even though we fuck up differently.
Yeah.
Let's say I make a kid outside. I don't know how she would feel about that.
Ooh,
Do we call that fucking up?
Like, that's the ultimate partner.
Yeah, you know, but when you date a kind partner, I'm sure they'll be mad at first, right? At some point, if she really, really loves you, she'll be like, you know what, I know you fucked up. We've got kids here, you're already looking after the kids. I know you will take responsibility. I think she will put herself in your shoes. Let me not speak for women, okay? I'm twisting it back to you now. How would you feel if that happened to you? Say you are married, your partner goes and fathers a kid outside your marriage. How do you now react to that?
No, I've never thought about that one. I'm getting goosebumps from that question.
Yeah, now think about it. I'm giving you...
Okay, while I think about that one, go back to your answer. What are your non-negotiables in a woman?
Good. Nice. That's a good question. I like that, actually. Guys, and by the way, this is not alcohol, right? What I did here, I bought some still water and mixed it with some power play.
What do you call it? Is that mocktail or cocktail? What do you call that?
I have no idea. It's a bomb. I call it a bomb. So, my non-negotiables now, man. I won't say I don't care about looks. You need to be easy on the eye, to be honest.
Easy on the eye.
Yeah.
That's the most polite word for that word.
Yeah, I need to be easy on the eye. Apart from that, you need to be able to look after me, man. Okay, but my toppest priority, if there's such a word, toppest priority, it's respect. Yeah. You know, respect comes in different forms, né? And if you respect me, there's a lot of things that you will do and won't do because you respect me.
True.
You won't shout at me for no reason if you respect me. Mm-hmm. You won't disobey me for no reason if you respect me. So if you respect me, I think you've ticked almost half of the boxes. Apart from that, I'm a very lazy person, for lack of a better word. I need to be looked after. Mm-hmm. I'm the kind of guy that leaves everything lying everywhere. Mm-hmm. So if you respect me, you won't be impatient. If I leave clothes lying around, if I leave my shoes, I'll wear different shoes and leave them in different rooms. For you to gather them together, put them in one place, that's another form of looking after me.
Yeah.
Well, every day, I don't know. I need to be cared for, man. I also care a lot, and I also need someone to reciprocate that care that I give, you know. Mm-hmm. And then another thing that's also non-negotiable. One thing about me, for example, I'm a breadwinner at home, right? Mm-hmm. I look after a lot of people at home. Before and after my father passed away. So I need someone that can understand that factor about me. That if my mother, for example, calls me and asks for help, you must allow me to play that role in the family. Mm-hmm. You must accommodate my family. As much as I look after my immediate family, which is my wife and my daughter, mm-hmm. I need to also look after my mom, because there's no one else that can do that job. I need someone that can understand that factor, that I play a role outside of my immediate family. Okay. I think that's also a very custom one. It doesn't apply to everybody. But things like respect, being looked after, those are probably common across people. And as much as we love each other, right? I think it's also, should I say it's okay? But I think it's nice that we give each other space, spend time apart from each other. I mean, if we're in each other's faces every day, how do I even tell that I miss you? You understand? Yeah. Not that we shouldn't spend time together, but allow me sometimes just to detach myself a bit, go be with some people, not necessarily cheating. We're not talking about cheating here,
Yeah,
but just having fun
random
without
people.
you.
Yeah.
Now you must find a hobby outside our relationship that you do,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll come back and then we reflect on those things that we did. Okay, I was with these people. They said this. I was with this. Now we even find new content to talk about within a relationship. You know, yeah, you know. And Chungan, like for me, I've dated like other tribes before, but there were certain things that I was failing to express myself because it's a different language. For example, you can tell a Tsonga joke right now, and when it land, you would try to translate it to English or Spadi or whatever. It might not sound the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't land the same. Ne?
Yeah.
Let's say it's funny, like really funny in Tsonga. Ne? When it lands on the other side, like, what are you saying?
Yeah, and that's true.
Yeah.
It can bang in Tonga
And then
in
the other
English,
side, yeah.
Not really.
Yeah. So another biggest thing for me, relatability, like the fact that you can relate on things together. For example, now, had I married a Xhosa woman, for example, go to a Xhosa woman, please cook some masonja for me. Like, hey,
Yeah.
It's not like so one. If I ask my husband to cook masonja for me, there's no questions.
Yeah.
So 30 minutes later, I'll be eating. I mean, I live like simple life. As much as I.
So to a Xhosa woman, it would sounded like as if it's
a
complicated
chore.
recipe.
Yeah, it's a chore.
Yeah.
And now you have to teach a lot of things. When you marry to your very own tribe, for example, you don't have to teach fuck all. Everything is relatable.
Yeah.
Like if now we talk about maybe topi or whatever. By the way, topi, guys, is some traditional dish that I don't even know how it's made, but it's nice.
They say it's a pumpkin pap.
Sort of, yeah. Topi and those things, those traditional things. You don't have to teach fuck all. And now, you know, even okay, it's not about me as well, no? Let's say at home right now, there's a ceremony, whatever, like something happening at home, some traditional whatever stuff.
Yeah.
For my wife to connect with my sisters and family, it's very easy when they speak the same language. Now they're gonna be peeling there, and then if she doesn't know the language, now she's gonna be feeling isolated and all those things. Those are kind of things I've taken into account before I decided to find and settle with somebody. Yeah. So for me now, okay, coming back to your question, non-negotiables. Number one, respect. If you don't respect me, you gotta fuck off. Relatability, being looked after, communication. Am I allowed to say this? This man is, by the way. Am I allowed to say this?
Okay. This is a
podcast. Good sex. Good sex also. It ticks the box. I mean, you can't marry someone who's
okay.
You know.
Say this is your list, right?
Yeah.
And then the bedroom one is not there. What happens? Does it crash the whole thing?
Unfortunately, I need to be happy in the bedroom as well. No, guys, I have to be honest. No, certain things you can teach, right?
Yeah, but there are certain things you can't teach.
Yeah, I mean, you can't teach someone to be nice.
It comes with the package.
Exactly. So certain things you can teach, but it's got to be nice in the bedroom as well. That's where we actually spend most of our time, right? So I think that does actually make up my list. Apart from that, what can I say? The other things are just minor things, but and you must also, like I say, like respect is at the top of my list, because there are certain things you will do and you won't do when you respect me. If I send you something, for example, if I say, baby, please go buy me some I'm feeling like eating chicken again, you don't have to question me like, why chicken again? Why not Nando's? Just go buy chicken again, for fuck's sakes. You understand? You need to listen to me. Yeah, you need to obey. I'm not saying you must worship the ground I walk on. And another thing, when I say respect, I'm not looking for a yebo type of person. You shouldn't agree with me all the time.
You should have your own opinion.
Exactly. I can't be right all the time. I hate that. Yeah, just because I'm a man and I want respect, now everything I say is right. Yeah, if I say now, what can I say? Tomorrow I want to buy a Range Rover, even though you know that at the point we can't afford it, you need to disagree. Like, no, baby. I mean, I think we should wait a bit. Maybe let's close this out, close this. Maybe a year later we could probably afford a Range Rover. You need to learn to disagree with me. I know what how I return that with sorry, that was a nice bag. Transparency. Not every man is transparent. There's in a lot of households. I know. I think most women don't know how much their husbands earn. But if you give me that, you make me that comfortable. I become transparent. There's nothing to hide because I trust you.
True.
You understand? So, but if we don't trust each other, I don't think we'll get far.
So going back to your question, should ever I find out that there's a kid
outside during your union,
trust me, I'm leaving.
Just like that.
Just like that. For me, I think that's not negotiable.
Why?
If that's the ultimate mistake one can ever do as a partner for me.
Why though? I mean, it's just a
like,
kid. The kid knows
it's
nothing.
Just a kid.
Yeah.
It's just it's easier said than done because, for me, I grew up with my grandmother, right, and my dad, but not part-time was there, part-time was not there. So I know the advantages to that and the disadvantages to that. So the last thing I want for my kids is blended families and connected people and stuff like that. That's the last thing that I want for my family.
Oh, so it comes from experience.
It comes from experience because I know that if it happens that there's a kid outside, that means the perks that my children are supposed to get are going to be divided.
That brings me to my next comment. Sorry to cut you off there. No?
Mm-hmm.
I've said this to someone that one mistake that I'm glad I didn't make, that I maybe almost made, right? Sorry, I got distracted there. I think someone was calling me and then we're recording using my phone here. We should have put it on flight mode. Let's remember that next time.
Okay.
To me, fathering a kid outside my household would be the most selfish thing. You know why?
Why?
Have you seen the way I love Lulu?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'd be doing no justice to the other kid. For example, let's say today here, simple thing, we'll buy pizza here. What is my other kid eating that side?
I don't know.
You understand? If we go out, let's say we go to Sun City to have fun, what is my other kid doing?
Exactly.
You understand? I feel like it will be the most selfish thing to do because I'd be denying that kid the experience to be the father that I've been to my immediate daughter. You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm glad I didn't make that mistake in my life, and I don't plan on making that mistake.
Yeah.
I really pray to God that that never happens. No matter how tempted I get, we don't get to that point.
Yeah.
So as you were, apart from that, I mean, what if you really love the guy? Are you not willing to forgive?
I don't think I would, because settling for that, what is the worst that you could settle for again? I don't think I would settle for that. At this point, I'm one person. I want what I want. If I don't get it, I can settle for other things, but that one, like I said, it's the ultimate mistake.
Let's take it a step further now.
Okay.
Now the baby you find out after the baby is born, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he pops a question to you. I would like my outside kid, son or daughter, doesn't matter, my baby, to come live with us here. You guys are now married, everything is sorted. And you must remember, marriage now, if you marry in community of property, it involves a lot of assets, houses,
one
cars.
thing I'll never do. I'll never do that.
Why not?
In community of property.
Why not?
I don't know the future.
What if the guy has more money than you then?
Still.
You stand to benefit.
Still, but I won't do that.
But you stand to benefit. I mean, if anything happens, you're gonna. Let's say he's.
Then if I benefit, that's fine.
Okay, so you will do it only if you stand to benefit. If the guy has more money than you.
But you never know, because I could have money today, and then the next day, tomorrow, he wakes up with billions of rands. So, money wouldn't determine my answer to how do I react or what would be my solution to that, to having an outside kid, because you know what I want. I want to have a family with a father and a mother with our kids, just our kids, because I never got to experience that, and I know what it does to a child when you don't get that. Like in the long run, it's very dangerous. Trust me.
How? Like, okay, I think tell me about that. How does it negatively impact your life?
Okay, I'll give you an example. Like I said, I was brought up by my grandmother. If, let's say, I steal a lollipop in a shop somewhere, as a kid, like a grandmother or a guardian would, the way a guardian or your grandmother would reprimand you is not the same as my mother would. Do you get me?
I get
Like they would be more polite to how my actual parents.
So it's
would
actually like
reprimand me.
a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
It's not actual punishment.
It's not actual punishment. And now, like, when they reprimand you in a more softer way.
So you were spoiled. That's what you're saying.
Yeah. Like
did you expect a little bit of a firmer treatment than you received? Like
I think if I grew up with my own father and my mother, it wouldn't have been that way. That's what I'm saying. Knowing my parents, definitely it wouldn't have been that way.
But does that have any impact in terms of how you turned out as an adult now? I believe you're an adult now. You said you're 24, right?
Yeah.
You're an adult. I mean, if you had to change anything about your childhood besides living with your mom and dad in the same house, what else would you change?
What else would I change? I guess nothing. Because let me tell you, the fact that I had that kind of soft bringing up with my grandmother, it got to a point where I was supposed to move, right?
Yeah.
And remember, at that time, I'm moving from a much softer home to a normal, typical village home. Do you get it?
Damn.
So do you see the transition?
It was more like a downgrade.
Too much.
Wow.
Too much of a downgrade.
No? Yeah.
Like the reason why I'm saying it's too much of a downgrade is that, remember, like I transitioned from having a nanny waking me up in the morning to go have a bath, get your breakfast ready, get your bag, go to the gate, your transport is there, go to school, to having to wake up and boil water.
Like on fire.
On fire.
Wow.
Walking to school with no money sometimes.
Yeah. No?
To like, it was just a whole different culture for me. So, can you imagine moving from being spoiled to just a home where you have to be like on your own?
But I've got a different perspective on that. I believe that taught you a thing or two, right?
It did.
What did you learn from that? From that soft life, that transition from the soft life to the village life. What did you learn from that?
A lot. One thing I learned, I even use it today, things can change just like that. Things can change just like that.
Within a blink of an eye.
Yeah, but one significant thing that I learned to be responsible.
And then being humble? Did that teach you anything about being humble?
Yeah, it did.
So, now something. I know we're deviating a little bit from the marriage topic, né?
Yeah.
Mara, while you were still having the soft life, the kids back at the village, when you went and visited, were you treating them differently anyhow because you were living the soft life?
No,
were you a little bit arrogant, or did you make them feel the fact that you were living in a different space when you visited?
No, funny enough, I didn't. Funny fact is that I liked the village more than where I was staying, because during holidays I would visit them and like I would cry my eyes out when I had to go back, because that side it looked more adventurous, it looked more fun to me as a kid.
And that side, I guess you would feel a little bit lonely, right?
And bored, because what you do is just watch cartoons, go to school, and that was it. So to me, not really. So talking about having family, like a stable family is important. One thing, should I get into marriage, if the child saga doesn't happen, I'm not leaving, because my plan is to have a father in a home, a mother and kids, and give them proper upbringing by myself.
So is that your only deal breaker then in terms of marriage? When if your partner or your um, supposed husband fathers a kid outside?
No, obviously not. Deal
Um,
breaker.
what are other deal breakers for you? Because funny enough, nah, I always tell when my little sister used to live with us in the house, nah, guys, there's a plane passing by my house here. I don't know where it's going. It's fucking annoying. When my little sister used to live with us in the house, I used to tell them that I think you are stupid and naive when you think that your partner will never leave you, whether it's a husband or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever. I think you are very naive. Because, like you said right now, I'm going to echo your words. Things can change just like that. You understand? I think someone is naive to say, no, my partner will never leave me. Like, Manan will never leave me. I think it would be naive of me to say that. But funny enough, nah, I don't know whether it's because she's always in the house looking after the baby and all of that. Do you know, like in my head, I've never imagined or pictured her cheating or with another man. That doesn't exist in my head. Am I naive to think like that?
No. I think the reason why you have that sentiment in your head is because she doesn't give you the reason to. Like there's nothing you can refer to. At least if maybe there was that one incident maybe where
or signs.
Yeah, where maybe you see her, she's always going out, she's dressing up, she's having secret calls. Yeah, then maybe yes, you would picture that. But for the fact that she doesn't give you any signs to, then it makes sense.
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like, nah, dude, you're being naive, like people change all the time. Sometimes, I always ask myself, I'll give you an example, DJ Fresh. DJ Fresh was married for, I think got married in 2000 or 2002. He got divorced about almost 20 years later. I'm like, if you and your partner been married for that long, you know everything about each other. Why then get divorced? What happened or what changed?
I don't know, hey, but for me, for like if you're married to someone for 20 years,
then all of a sudden,
what's the worst that could ever happen to make you
maybe
guys
it's
go
growing
separate
apart.
ways?
You know that people grow apart.
But for 20 years.
I don't know.
Because like 20 years later, you've done so much. You've accumulated so much for you guys. What's the worst thing that could happen to make you guys say, you know what?
That is my question. How do you then divorce someone after 20 years of being married, staying together with like 3-4 kids and stuff like that? There must be something really maybe that they're not telling us.
Yeah, definitely. Like growing apart is not a valid reason. No ways.
Do you believe that married couples do fall in and out of love?
It happens all the time, even in dating.
In relationships?
Yeah, even in dating. Sometimes you look at this person, I'm like, no way.
And then the next day you feel like,
it's a whole new person.
Is it head over heels or heels over head?
You know what? It happens all the time. It happens all the time.
So it's normal?
It's normal.
Because I do feel like that sometimes. I feel like, I'm fucking weird. This guy's fucking weird. Yeah?
So like, have you ever like voiced that out to your partner? But sometimes I fall out of love with you.
No, man, you wouldn't do that. I think it would
for some reason, I think you would.
When I'm drunk. When I'm drunk, I'm very vocal. Me being the drunk myself, I can literally say anything. I can even dump you when I'm drunk and apologize the next morning. I'm like, I was drunk, right?
So you should make sure that you get married. You must say out your vows.
My vows when I'm drunk, because they'll be true.
They'll be very genuine.
They'll be coming from a good place, my heart.
Yes.
Yeah, man. But you know what, nah? I do feel like one thing about me, for example, I get bored easily.
So for the fact that you've been with someone for quite a long time, what keeps you going?
Love. I think love conquers all. As much as we don't agree on everything, for example, but the fact that I love my partner, I think that keeps us going. If you love somebody, you're gonna be kind towards them.
Mm.
You're gonna look after them. You're gonna care about how they feel.
Yeah, you're gonna be.
You can't say you love somebody and you don't care about how they feel. You know, sometimes I can make a mistake and almost immediately regret it, and then I go back and apologize. Another thing that I hate about people that don't apologize, you guys do this a lot as women. Someone will fuck up. I call it fucking up. Fucking up. Do you wrong. Women normally, when they do you wrong, they don't apologize immediately. They always find loopholes in between. They just explain themselves until you feel guilty as a man. But with men, I think men find it very easy to apologize. I think, you know what apologizing means to me? Not just in like romantic relationships, even in family, siblings, colleagues and everything. It means you care more about our relationship more than your ego. Yeah. If you don't apologize, it means like, yeah, fuck this guy. I wronged him, but now fuck him still. So when you apologize, you're simply saying that we've had our differences. I value our relationship more than my ego or whatever. Let's keep this thing moving. If you date that's what I'm saying, guys, over there, whatever you do, date kind people. If you don't date a kind person, they'll never say sorry to you. They'll fuck up and expect you to say sorry, and that's manipulation right there.
Yeah, that was what I was about to ask. That are you saying we are manipulated?
Very. Women are very manipulative. You know what? Why I say women are very, very manipulative? Wow. They will do something, knowing very well that I just want to piss this guy off or fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And then you will actually pick this up, or this one is trying to screw me over here. They'll never admit to doing that. Instead, they'll find ways to support their actions or their statements.
To why they did that.
It's not a reason, it's an excuse. To me, it's not a reason. It's an excuse to support their, I don't know, their shenanigans or whatever. But I don't like that. One thing about me, if you manipulate me, I can go as far as killing you.
Really?
Because, okay, when you manipulate me, you're basically saying I'm stupid, man. That's what you're saying. No, like, I feel like it's the biggest form of betrayal, if you think about it. Can you pause for a second? Think about manipulation, man. When you talk about manipulation, someone is trying to make you think that what they are doing is right, and you are wrong, and they're going to benefit from that. Manipulation comes in different forms. It could be in the workplace, in relationships, in family, in whatever. Manipulation, to me, guys, personally, is the biggest form of betrayal. Yeah, it's like now, for example, your partner cheats, and then they come back and like, it's your fault that I cheated.
You cheated because you did this and this and that.
Yeah, you drove me to it. What kind of manipulation is that? You see, that's what I'm saying. I can actually kill you for manipulating me. Because you're basically saying, I'm stupid. You went and made a mistake. Now you want to pin your mistake back to me. What kind of nonsense is that?
Say you cheated, and then they cheat back. You find them, and then they tell you, I cheated because you cheated. Is that wrong?
Another thing that doesn't work well with me in relationships, right? Especially in romantic relationships. You can't be competing. So, in simple terms, you're saying, and men and women are equal. We'll get to that's a topic for another day, guys. Are you saying to me, men and women are equal?
In what sense?
On all levels. So block solution this. If I can slap you, you're gonna slap me back.
No.
So if I cheat, why do you cheat back? Well, if I start a business, why don't you start a business?
I don't know.
So you only do things that are bitchy. Yeah, guys, we can't validate that thing. Cheating and cheat back. Come on, guys. We've got kids to raise here. Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Guys, again, when a man cheats, it's a mistake. When a woman cheats, it's intentional.
No, but that's not fair.
Let me come to this now. You know why? I want to tell you some very uncomfortable truth for once. To men, love is physical mostly. To women, it's emotional.
Mm-hmm.
A man can fuck any bitch anytime. When a woman fucks a guy, she's emotionally attached to that guy.
Yeah.
So she's not coming back, dude. That's why men don't forgive cheating women.
Right.
Because she has to be somehow connected to the guy to actually give it up. But a man can literally, I can drive out of here, find a beach there, fuck that bitch, come back home, I forgot about her.
Like,
Doesn't matter. Total. It's physical, it's not emotional at all.
No guilt, nothing.
Fuck all.
What?
Well,
That's
maybe
crazy.
a little bit. But
That's crazy.
it's not crazy, but I think that's how it is. Men don't really attach a lot to men. Okay, let's literally, like, sex to men is mostly physical. It's not emotional. They don't get. Let me tell you
Like
about
they
it.
don't carry it.
With them.
Yeah.
You know, for a chick to actually, unless she's proper like whore, she will give it up in time. But mostly women, they kind of like try and study you, learn you, they show you for I really want to be with this guy, and then now they actually open up and it's a lot more emotional. And also, women are emotional beings generally, and then men, when it comes to relationship, they are more logical. That's why when it comes to cheating as well. Imagine all the kind of what can I call it? Stuff that you do in the bedroom with your woman, and then you reflect on that with her doing it with someone else. It's just it's too
I think
disturbing.
the reason why you guys can't forgive is the fact that you're logical about it. Like you take it. This person did it intentional, so it was a mistake basically.
And another thing, for example, we drink, right? We get drunk, and when you are drunk, sometimes you make some irrational decisions, right? And imagine you are dating a non-drinking partner, a partner who's like a sober partner, and they cheat on you. That person knew what they were doing.
Sober-minded.
With me, I can turn around and say I was drunk, blame it on the alcohol and stuff like that. But I'm serious. It's not physical to men. Like, it's not emotional at all to men. Sorry. Men take it physically, women it's emotional. So if your woman cheats on you, my guy, she's gone. Yeah. Another thing, is it true that when you guys like break up with somebody, you do it you detach yourself emotionally first, way before time, before you utter the words.
That's true.
By the day you say it, you're already out.
Yeah. If your lady tells you she wants out, trust me, she's been on it for quite some time. Like, at that moment, you can't even change her mind.
You know what I always say?
What?
If tomorrow my woman wakes up and be like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. You know what I'll do?
What?
I won't convince her to stay. You know why?
Why?
Because she's thought long and hard about it.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
Reasons to come
so
to that decision.
I know it will be painful on her side. If this guy is not even saying anything to
but
get
to
me to
you
say.
also, won't it be painful?
I'm gonna tell you something about myself today. That's my superpower. My superpower is being able to accept situations very
Right
quick.
there and there.
Yeah. It will hurt, yes, but it will take a couple of beers, and then after a couple of beers, I think I'll drink it away. And the next day, I'll be like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
What? That's some sort of superpower.
That's my superpower. Even if tomorrow I log on and work, they're like, dude, I don't think we no longer need your services. I'm like, oh, okay. I won't even ask why. I'll just
How do you do that?
Come and collect your stuff from my house. Bye.
Like,
and then I'll look for another job.
Do you give yourself some time to sink it in?
I've been disappointed a lot in my life, so I've learned to accept disappointment, even from when it comes from the people I trust.
Yeah.
So disappointment to me is like something Trevor Noah said, like if a friend sets up a lunch date or whatever.
Yeah.
It says when they set up that lunch at the back of my mind, I think it might not happen. So when they come and be like, no, that lunch, let's not do that lunch date anymore. Something came up. He's okay with that because he thought already it might not happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not that he's negative about it, but he knew already.
Yeah, like it kinds of anticipate for disappointment.
Exactly. So the way I've been disappointed in life, nothing surprises me anymore. If I get disappointed, I'm like, oh, you again, nice. And then I move on. You see, if you do that in life, nah, I think you will live longer because even in your case, I believe most of the disappointments that you've received or gotten, it came from the people you trusted the most.
Definitely.
You understand? So you must teach your mind to be stronger than your emotions because you're gonna lose yourself every time when you get disappointed. I have seen people get depressed over getting like a job regret. You applied for a job, they didn't hire you, they sent you a regret. Sorry, we can't move on with this application. People would actually break down over that.
Like one of my friends was telling me that, you know what, I'm taking a break from applying for jobs because if you see
I've
my
been getting
mail,
a lot of regrets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a regret. You understand?
It's just a regret. You make it so light.
But it's just a regret. I get tons of those every day.
What?
I'm like, oh, it's just a regret. Nice. Maybe I'm speaking from a point of privilege because I have a job. Maybe if I didn't have a job and getting those tons of regrets.
No, but for the fact that you're judging that from your own experience, so it's quite fair.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot of disappointments.
So for me, it's entitlement. I don't have that. Whether you're my mom, you're my dad, you're my uncle, I have no entitlement whatsoever.
So if now it's your birthday, né? For argument's sake, and then the whole day your mom says nothing, no WhatsApp post, no message, nothing, how would you feel?
Nothing.
Still, serious.
Like you just brought up something very important. You see, on my birthday, the attention that I get, I don't like it. On my birthday,
is it too much?
It's too much.
What if we say nothing then? Won't you feel a little bit unloved?
No, not at all. Actually, it got end of this year. I think I got to a point where like I wouldn't wanna wish other people happy birthdays because
they wanna go wish it back.
I don't want that. Like the attention that I get is just too much. Because if you check, if you say I've asked something from you to say please, especially money, I'll never ask for money. Rather, I borrow, knowing that I'll work for it and then pay back. Yeah, entitlement, no.
That's another thing. Talking about entitlement, and especially with women, that's one thing that actually...
Except for my husband, then yeah.
You're not married yet.
Yeah.
Women are kind of like, they fuck up marriages by that sense of entitlement. You know, I think marriage is a title, right? Let's say we date for 5 years. We've been doing things in the house. I'll give you an example with McG. He married his baby mama, I proposed and stuff like that. And what he said is that nothing changed. The only thing that changed is the title. The only thing that probably changed is that now the family can visit, because before they wouldn't visit because, I mean, you can't be visiting your daughter at her boyfriend's house. But now that is a husband. It's visitable. It's such a term. So what the mistake women make basically when you marry them, they feel like now they own you. You understand? That's what you guys, the mistake you made, because before when we were dating, I could just go out, have fun, come back. But now the fact that we are married, now I can't even go out and have fun, which I used to do before we were married. The fact that I married you now, I didn't marry my mother, I married a wife to build a life partner. You understand? Yeah.
But for me, if you're married, like, then you should relax even. Why should you be like putting gates and hindrances when you know that person shares a home with you, they're gonna come back. What's the fuss about?
I think it's now that I've given you the title. It's more like when you marry somebody, you're giving them like a stick or a remote to control you. Now they're even telling you what to wear.
But now, do you think if it didn't happen while dating, do you think it would happen when married?
Another thing that we need to talk about, right? It's ignoring the red flags in the name of seeing the good in some in people. Yeah, during dating.
Yes.
You see all the red flags during dating, but you still want to marry this person because you feel like they're gonna change when you're married. It's not gonna happen.
Yes, if they're then dating, obviously in marriage also, they're still gonna be there. They're still gonna be there. There's no red flag that disappears, and unless if it has to do with maturity.
I think we just turn a blind eye on it because we want to see the good in people.
Yeah, especially if there's too much love.
Is there such a thing as too much love?
Yeah.
What is too much love?
I think I'll speak from a female perspective.
Mm.
You know, there are other people who have partners or husbands or whatever.
Mm. Is that not maybe obsession or something?
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's obsession.
Obsession. Because if you're obsessed with someone, you can't really pick out the wrongs in them. Like, you can, but you choose not to.
You basically kind of like turn a blind eye and like, nah, it's fine, they'll
Yeah.
change and stuff like that. And you know what I've learned in my experience, right? Guys, we're gonna wrap up soon. I think we've been doing this for more than an hour, right? I don't know. What time did you start?
Don't even check.
Yeah. So, mostly, even Somisi said this when he broke up with Mohale. The red flags that you ignore in the beginning of the relationship, in most cases, they are the reason why you guys actually break up. Let's say you saw a red flag or this guy, they actually not very responsive when texting, and when you like someone who responds fast. And then another thing, let's say you love you to somebody and then they don't say it back, they just say, okay, that's actually a red flag. And then another thing,
Is it?
maybe it is. I mean, how would you feel if your partner told you I love you, or you told them I love you, and then nice, or that's thank you for, you know. And then another thing maybe, not like being unappreciative. Let's say I buy my partner flowers and then I get home like, hey baby, I bought you flowers. They just take them, chuck them there. Nothing, no thank you, nothing. Nice, chuck them there. Those are red flags already. And when you want to go ahead and actually marry that person in the name of seeing the good in them, you're already setting yourself up for disappointment, you see?
That's why for me, I'm really big on personality, character, and morals for me in a person.
What about consistency? They can do it in the beginning, and then as time goes, and then they start slacking.
Well.
You know, slacking.
Yeah.
My biggest thing for me is consistency. If you can do something, sustain your character for as long as we're still together.
Yeah.
Because someone will start. I know this happens a lot with men. Let's say I find a girlfriend. With us as men, when I find a new girlfriend, I've got recruitment budget.
Which one is that?
Where I spend a lot.
Yeah.
I spend on everything.
Yeah.
Take you out on dates, spend. And now when we're dating, a month, now there's the operational budget.
You are slacking now.
Yeah, now I'm slacking. I used to spend 1,000 rand a week.
Now
I spend 200 or 100 rand if you are lucky. You see? So for me, consistency is big, guys. I mean, you must.
True.
I'm coming back again. Date kind people. If they are kind, they'll be consistent. You understand?
That's their character, right? Yes.
Exactly.
I'm very big on that. You, even if you might be all these things, but those four, I think they should lead in the list. Then
Absolutely.
yeah, we could make it.
Before we close off, what is your love language? Before we're about to wrap up, guys.
My love language.
Apart from money.
There are quite a lot, but for me,
But let's say your top three.
My top three. First one has to be acts of service.
Nice.
And then affirmations.
Yeah. Like you want to be reminded that I love you all the time.
Yes.
Like every day?
Depends. I don't know.
As often as possible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But not every second. I mean,
yeah. It gets boring now.
Yes, and then the other one, I don't know, kindness. Yeah.
The thing is, what is this thing? Physical touch?
How could I forget that? Yeah, it's important. Yeah. The affirmation one, going back, I feel like the thing that drew me to my partner of all things, I think, is affirmations, because I remember in the early stages, actually, when we started living together as kids, he
Mm.
would say, you know what, even if whatever happens, I'll make a plan.
Wow.
And I never got that from my like parents or father.
You see those words, right?
So for him, like, and like there were very hard days, not now. Like now, I think we're way too better. There were worse days, but he would say, you know what, stress no more. I'll make a
that
plan.
reassurance.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
like knowing that I'm cool.
Yeah, it makes you feel like calmer and comfortable.
You know, yeah. I think
understand, yeah.
that's one thing that stood out for me. So yeah, I guess that's that. And for you, what do you love languages?
My top 3
Acts of service. has
acts
to
of
be there for
service,
you.
but at the top of the list it's respect, acts of service, and what is the last one? What is the last one? Just kindness, being kind.
Yeah, being
You know,
kind.
when your partner is kind, even when you fuck up. One thing I hate, by the way, is a woman shouting at me. No one shouts at me. Not even my mother does that.
Yeah.
So if you are kind, even when I fuck up,
You
you won't
won't
be
shout.
shouting at me.
Yeah.
Kindness, guys. Please be kind when you get a chance.
People are not kind.
Yeah, people are not kind out there. Eh?
Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna close it off here for today. I think we're gonna be back next week with another banging episode.
Installment.
What are we talking about next week, or should we leave it for next week?
I think you guys can just share a little bit in the comment section. Tell us what you guys want us to communicate about. Remember to like the video, share with your friends, and comment. What's your take on marriage? How's been marriage treating you? Are you planning to get into marriage and stuff like that?
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that that ring button.
The bang, what we call it, the bell button.
Yeah, that thing. So that when we upload new episodes, you get the notifications instantly, and then you can watch and enjoy this fucking awesome podcast. Thank you for watching. Boom.
Bye.
Bye. What if it wasn't recording? We just took it to ourselves. What if Cornelia disturbed the video? No, I'm kidding. It was recording.